My experience in Yemen was fantastic. Like, I can't really oversell the country. I feel like I should be hired at this point by the tourism authority in Yemen because it's a hidden gem. It's a very fun place. People love to, there's such a good sense of humor within the society. People love to play jokes on you all the time, or they'll come up to you and just say hello and take you in their house for tea. And it was a very welcoming space and culturally fascinating.
Myanmar works in a bit of a slower, gentler way, and I think that sort of just matches a lot of my spirit internally. It's even things like waking up and hearing the chanting of the monks in the morning and hearing, the birds chirping. Something about that kind of calm that people experience basically every day. I understood it. It resonated with me.
If I have a nice memory here in US, it would immediately, I would remember something like in Germany. I would remember something nice happened also in Syria back home. So it's like, for me, good memory grab good memories.
There's a normality and an abnormality to being here, in the sense that it does look like home, as in home being the UK. It does look like London to some respects, but there are subtle differences. And you're constantly, I suppose, aware or cognizant of those differences. So it becomes tiring after a while. It almost created a level of homesickness that I hadn't experienced in any other place that I'd been, because Sana'a is not like London. There are very different dynamics, whereas New York is close enough to remind me of London, but it's not, essentially.
I don't feel that much at home in Vietnam because of a lot of the issues that came up in Vietnam. All these sort of familial burdens, again, because I wasn't born in Vietnam. I didn't grow up around that. And including the community in the US, I didn't grow up around a Vietnamese community. So in one sense, I have family there, so it feels like home. But contextually, it's foreign.
In Jordan, it was difficult to access the society over there, or to access like those circles of friends that I have over there. So it felt like I felt a little bit away from home, and I felt more like away from home in Jordan than when I was in Germany.
I would always wake up relatively late, but I would always wake up to the sound of the adhan, which was beautiful.
My true sense of self came out a lot in Myanmar, and than it did in Vietnam. And that was interesting.
Yes, basically home is with me wherever I would be.
Felt to me, wow, this is like home for me. People remember me. There is a community here.
I had a lot that made me feel safe and at home, if you want to call it that. There was another guy who came up to me when I was walking down the street, and he was a very old man, and he just grabbed my hand, and then he took me into his house, and it was full, like hundreds of men, all sitting on the floor. All of them had their Kalashnikovs and their guns. They were all tribesmen, essentially. And without saying anything, food arrived in front of me, and he was eat, so I was eating. And I sort of looked at this other guy, and I asked, what is this? And he was like, oh, it's his son's funeral. It's a sad moment, obviously, because it's a funeral, but the level of kindness again. He didn't think of himself in that moment, he thought of me. And that I don't find happens often in a place like New York, where people are very individualistic and they're very focused on the self.